Yes, sir.
Good evening. We're going to call the City Council meeting for the City of Indio order on October 1st here at 5 o'clock. Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Huitron.
Present.
Councilmember Ortiz.
Present.
Councilmember Furman.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Holmes.
Present.
And Mayor Miller.
Present. At this time, we're going to have invocation by Pastor Tony Williams of Love of Christ Community Church, and we have a very special individual who's going to do the Pledge of Allegiance for us. Pastor? Sir. You all could rise.
As we stand, let's just give reverence to the Lord. And gracious Father, we just thank you for this day. Thank you for this moment. And Lord, I thank you for the council members. I thank you for our first responders, our law enforcement, for our teachers, our educators, for the integral people that make our city wonderful and great, for the people that make our city great and safe, and for our constituents that make our city, the homeless, the down and out, the ones that are disadvantaged, the ones that need us the most. I even thank you for them, Lord, because they remind us of how good you are and how things could be sometimes. So, Father God, let us not overlook anyone. And I ask you give this council governance wisdom. Give them your holy wisdom so they know how to navigate the dilemmas, the problems, so they know how to accept the challenges, Lord, and that they do it with grace and dignity. And Father God, once all is said and done, we just want to recognize that we need you. We need you in everything that we would do and everything that we would endeavor to do. And I ask you just continue to put your hedge of protection around this great city so that we're safe, that we're well, that we're healthy, and that we're united as one. It's in the name of Jesus we pray and thank you.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Williams.
Sir.
And at this time, we're very fortunate. One of the things we do every council meeting is we have one of our amazing students come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And this time, we have Miss Sarah Padilla. Come on up. Sarah is a fifth grader student at Dr. Carry-On Academy. Her favorite subject is math. In her free time, Sarah enjoys reading books and playing soccer. She also has a passion for bacon, especially chocolate cupcakes, my favorite. There we go. She loves spending time at the beach and playing with her two dogs. Sarah, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. We give her a hand. Beautiful. Thank you. Morning, where we got a little swag bank for you to make your other students jealous. A nice little tote. Here, come on up over here. Beautiful young lady. Thank you very much. Great start to the meeting. With that, we'll move on to the city attorney report. Stephen, anything?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. There's no reportable action out of this afternoon's closed session.
Thank you very much. With that, we'll move on to item number 5. We've got two great presentations that we're going to be having. One is 5-1 is the presentation for the College of the Desert. We have Superintendent Martinez Garcia. Come on up, Mr. Garcia. Welcome again, and look forward to your presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd also like to introduce with me today, there she is, Dr. Jessica Enders, currently Dean of CTE, but also the Director of the East Valley campuses. Good evening. It's great to be here today. Council members, community members, and just everyone here today to celebrate, to acknowledge, to recognize all of the efforts of College of the Desert in the city of Indio. It is a privilege to be here tonight on behalf of the best college in the state of California, College of the Desert, our Board of Trustees, and a great faculty and staff who call that place home. Our relationship with the city of Indio stretches back more than 2 decades, a partnership grounded in a shared value, which is built on a bold vision and community trust.
Now I get to take over. In 2011,
during the mayoral term of Glenn Miller, which, I think history repeating itself here, and with support from City Council, Indio made a remarkable decision of transferring the old bus station property to COD to establish a presence here in the downtown. And that act was more than just a transfer of land, it was a statement of vision. That the educational opportunity should anchor the future of Indio. 3 years later, in 2014, the leadership of Mayor Lupe Ramos Amith, the community gathered to open the doors of the first 3-story campus at Indio. That building brought classrooms, labs, student services directly to the downtown. For the first time, thousands of East Valley residents had local access to higher education without a long commute to the Palm Desert campus or beyond. That opening was more than bricks and mortar. It marked the beginning of a new era, one where first-generation students could see themselves in college, where working adults could return to school, where families could take pride in having education in the heart of Indio. Their history matters because it reminds us that what we're celebrating tonight is not accidental. It's been built step by step with city leadership, community trust, and a shared vision and mission between the Indio City and College of the Desert. And so fast forward to today, our work continues to align directly with the city's 2025-2030 vision and strategic plan. The city identified 6 pillars: economic opportunity, community well-being, downtown destination, public safety, public infrastructure, and organizational excellence. At College of the Desert, through our Vision 2030, we mirror these same priorities. Starting with economic opportunity, we have programs that train students in hospitality, logistics, and sustainability, and we're training them for jobs in this region. Next, when we're thinking about community well-being, we offer a robust wraparound support services, such as on-site childcare, access to mental health support services, and our food pantry. And I just want to take a minute to talk about what an outstanding program this food pantry is. At the Indio campus alone, we have distributed and received more than 170,000 pounds of food and goods. That was just last year alone. And so when we think about that partnership with Fine Food, it's an incredible opportunity to help our students not just survive, but thrive. And so the impact on our community is great. So by providing, again, these wraparound support services, we're showing that COD not just cares, but it shows, and we're living our word. And moving on to public infrastructure, we've expanded broadband and access to transportation, both of which are benefits to our students and our broader community. So as stated, this alignment is not accidental, it's by design. It's what makes our partnership with Indio powerful and meaningful. But wait, there's more. Looking ahead, where there's exciting opportunities to deepen this partnership. The East Indio Employment Corridor will bring hundreds of new jobs, and COD is preparing local residents to fill them. Through our Lift to Rise and our expanded Child Development Center, we're helping families reduce housing and childcare barriers that stand in the way of education and employment. Our digital arts and media, CIS programs, with Indio's vision of a vibrant downtown, expand its cultural programming, public art, and events, and bring people together. And at the center, all these opportunities are at the Indio campus itself, something that I personally am very proud of, having been there as the last 10 years as the director. Can't get away from it. So with the support of voters who passed Measure CC, we planned and completed Phase 2 of the Indio campus in 2024. This $75 million investment added more than 67,000 square feet of instructional and student support services. So we more than doubled our capacity of the campus. We now have career technical education programs, health sciences, early childhood education, criminal justice, fire, emergency medical services, and business, all right here in Indio. A student success hub with tutoring, counseling, and workforce readiness. So this increases our instructional capacity to about more than 50%, allowing us the opportunity to serve thousands more students each year. So the new Child Development Center is another cornerstone of this growth. It created 80 new child care slots to support our students, their parents, and the broader community. It generated 45 new education jobs, building a stronger pipeline for our early childhood education in the Valley. So this isn't just another example of how COD's growth is benefiting both families and the local economy. Oh, we're behind a slide. Sorry about that, Val.
these investments accomplish three things. One, they expand access for students, opening the doors to higher education for thousands of students in the East Valley. Two, they strengthen Indio's economic base by aligning training with job growth in healthcare, hospitality, logistics, and sustainability. Three, they make Indio a true community anchor, our campus a true community anchor, serving not only the students, but the families across the region. Let me share a story with you real quick. I met a young man on the Palm Desert campus. He had come from Indio. He is the first in his class, his family, to go to college. His parents work in the fields, and the barriers to college felt overwhelming to him. That was because he did not know what he was going to do once he had the opportunity to graduate high school and what was next. But he found the campus here in Indio, and he found the community at Palm Desert. Someplace close to home, he said, helped me understand what the value of education was as I had access to it. With support services and resources from the campus here in Indio and the support from the Palm Desert campus, Juan is now on track to complete his degree and transfer. Juan's story is proof of why this campus matters. It's about access, it's about opportunity, and the belief that no dream is without reach. This campus is more than a set of buildings. It is proof of what happens when a city and a college work together hand in hand. Together, we've created opportunity, strengthened workforce, pathways, and made a downtown Indio a hub for learning and renewal. On behalf of College of the Desert Community College Board of Trustees, faculty, and staff, thank you for your leadership, for your vision, and your partnership. We look forward to the next decade and decades to come of collaboration as we continue to serve Indio and the entire Coachella Valley. Thank you very much.
Just comments. I mean, I've been here since the beginning. I remember when that bus station, which was iconic in our city, but when they took it down to build, and the promise of what College of the Desert would bring to our community and our students, the promise of not just education, but what that means to economic development, to people and families and jobs and whatnot. I think that was just the most wonderful day we had here in the city of Indio, and I think thank you for the direction it's going, all that you have brought to the students and the families in not just Indio, but in the greater East Valley. Thank you.
Mr. Furman? Why are you guys looking down at me? You know I want to say something. First of all, thank you, and welcome, President, to the College of the Desert and this partnership with the City of Indio. We greatly appreciate what you all do here and what you're doing. You're changing people's lives. This campus has been a milestone for our city. We talk about the Greyhound bus station and the old Indio and the old Safeway building, but when you drive down there now, it's nothing but promise. And so it's really great to hear all these programs and all these activities that are going on with the college. I've been through them. I went through the public safety academy there, and so I know some of the success stories. Just to share a little side note, my son was here from college this summer, and everything wasn't up and running, but I had a chance to take him into the buildings, and he said, "Wow, Dad, maybe I should move home." And I said, "No." I said, "No." But it just shows the progress that the college has made. So through all your leadership, we appreciate where we're going, and we want to continue to strengthen our relationship from when it was just those beams going vertical up to where we're at now. And so the future is bright, and we're looking forward to continuing our partnership. So thank you.
Mr. Catron?
I just want to say, in the 3 occasions I've been able to have the opportunity to meet you, I really appreciate how you've embraced the community. I really appreciate how you embrace the East Valley. This school doesn't just benefit Indio, it benefits, it's a center hub for the valley for many reasons, but it's nice to know that you embraced it. And without good leadership embracing what they've been investing their time, it doesn't mean anything. And so I really appreciate that, and your drive, continue that, to taking care of our people.
Thank you, Mr. Catron. Anything, Mr. Ortiz?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for the work that you do for our students. I see you both around all the time at different events, networking and bringing up new ideas and new programs, so we really appreciate the hard work. especially expanding the courses available here for our students. I think that's bringing a lot of different career opportunities for our students and getting them ready to enter the workforce at a higher level in whatever it is career that they want to do. So I have toured the site, and I'm really impressed with having chemistry classes here, biology classes, the EMT classes available. I think those are all extremely important for our students. We also see the co-benefits in some of your projects and really appreciate that, especially with the Child Care Development Center, right? You have the child care aspect, you have the education courses for people that want to be students, and then you have the jobs for them after they graduate. So those 45 jobs are extremely important. That added expanded child care facility is extremely important for our workforce and for the students, so I really appreciate that. And then also the community service aspect. I've seen over the past couple of years the College Corps and how involved they've been with Fine Food Bank and helping them, manage their warehousing and helping them run the food banks at the schools and getting them involved in that way, and also partnering up with the state and making sure that they're getting funding for that, right? They're getting paid for some of that work as well. So I just think you guys are doing a great job at bringing some of those new opportunities and setting some good goals for the students there, and getting them ready to enter the community as career directed students, right? And so really appreciate that, and thank you again.
Thank you, and thank you, President Garcia, and both of you for the hard work and dedication that you've already done to the City of Indio and the partnership that we've had. Hopefully we can expand that as we go forward, and obviously the new classes, the new opportunities for people in the East Valley from Coachella, the unincorporated area in the City of Indio, to be able to stay in a closer area to save money, and not only that, get the needed classes. So thank you for the expansion. As we move forward, love to work with you as we have some of our new apartment complexes, some of them moderate income, affordable, low income. They're looking for childcare too. Maybe we can expand that into some of our new opportunities for maybe a couple of your students to go in there and have childcare on site, and that way they'd be able to get some services too. And then as we go forward, hopefully some of those lower buildings that you have that we talked about, making opportunities for businesses. You have the Roadrunner Market and some of the others. Maybe you can work with our community development director to bring in some new businesses from Indio residents or residents throughout the Coachella Valley to do their opportunities to have their own business. Because you have those spaces available and not being utilized. You'd make some funding. They'd be able to start their businesses downtown and maybe hopefully be able to utilize some of those spaces for people to develop their dreams. Maybe even your own students that want to be able to open up their own businesses. So maybe we can put that seed in your ear a little bit and work with you on those. But truly thank you for your support and dedication to the City of Indio.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great opportunities. We'll move on to item 2 now. 5.2 is the presentation by Justin Hickey of the YMCA Community Program Director. Mr. Hickey, welcome.
Good evening. Thanks for having the YMCA here tonight. I see a lot of familiar faces, which is great. This is our last presentation. We saved the best for last on the cities,
There you go.
So we just wanted to highlight all the great things that we're doing with the YMCA within the city of Indio. So wanted to do a little presentation for you all. So we labeled it Why the Why. We opened up in 1982, so we're going on our 44th year upcoming. We are the largest licensed child care provider in the Valley. And with that, it allows us to take Riverside County Office of Education funding, which is probably about 60% of our programs that we have. And this is for underserved families, those can't afford child care. So we want to have those opportunities to be able to bring them into the program and know that their children can be in a safe and nurturing environment and not have to worry about the finances of those. We have caring, honesty, respect, and responsibility, and our goal is to develop social skills, confidence, leadership, and fitness. And we offer a wide variety of financial assistance programs to help those, so we never turn away any for an inability to pay. A little bit about our numbers. We operate an annual budget of $9.2 million, and that's gone up over the years as we continue to expand our programs, and that goes into 12,000 program experiences annually. 518 of those individuals receive financial assistance, and that serves over 950 kids across the Coachella Valley. A little bit of that impact, we have 5 different school-age locations. One of them is here in Indio at Amelia Earhart Elementary, which is actually our largest child care provider, which has 84 kids at it. And then 3 licensed ECE sites, which is early childhood education. One of them is at our Doris Mechanic here in Indio, which is a state-funded child care program. And then we offer day camps and youth sports offerings, and our youth and government program is great for those that want to get into the political field and learn that as they're going through their teen years in high school. A little bit about the city of Indio. One of them I would like to highlight is the partnership that we created with the Coachella Valley Mosquito and Vector Control. You would think all the field trips we go on to Get Air, Children's Discovery Museum, and those, the kids would go home and talk about that, and they do, but they loved the Coachella Valley Mosquito and Vector Control and all the interactive projects and those things they were able to do. They got someone new that's in there. His name's Hugo. He was amazing. He came around to our Carter and our Adams location, and they did some really fun things with the kids, and they absolutely loved it. And then our Amelia Earhart and Doris Mechanic locations serve over 150 kids here within the Indio city. This is our Amelia Earhart location, which opened in 2001, and with that I'd like to introduce, this is Alejandra Piedra right here. She's actually the site supervisor of that, which we've talked about, has 84 kids, so we have a lot of kids. We used to have kids that went to John Glenn Middle School as well, but there was such a need for that elementary school that all those kids come from that Amelia site now. This is our Doris Mechanic Child Development Center, which is also in Indio. It opened in 1995, and all the kids that go to that program are under a state-funded contract, so they receive 2 meals per day, the snack, and they're able to, we've gone through the city of Indio to help build their outdoor playground as well, which we really appreciate all that support. A little bit about our mission. We want community outreach to the valley and the presence that we want to have, helping as many families as we can experience camps, events, childcare, sports, and so much more. Friends to tell other friends about the YMCA so that it continues to get out about the great things that we are doing. Work with all of our cities to help establish what the YMCA wants to do, including here in Indio. And run inclusive programs, which we take pride in, and kids, feel wanted in groups, and those kids that are developing disabilities and they have those, they can be able to be with the able-bodied kids, whether it's through sports and through games. So we pride ourselves on that and encourage families in a world of unknowns. You are not alone in this, and the YMCA is here to help. Community partnerships, we want to be with all of our cities, so it's Indio, Palm Desert, Rancho Mirage, La Quinta. Old Town Artisan Studios is a great one that comes in and does clay and paint with the kids. College of the Desert actually helped us restart our flag football program a few years ago, and we partner with their new athletic director that came in to do a lot of fun sports programs. We have Friends of the Desert Mountains. I see Oscar over there, so we appreciate everything with them. Desert Sands Unified School District, and one I'd really like to highlight is here is Fantasy Springs Resort and Casino. Every single summer they reach out and they donate over 30 cases of water as the months start to get to about 120 degrees, so we really appreciate that. And then also the Riverside County Office of Education, being able to continue these programs and have these families come in and be able to have nurturing and safe environments for their kids. Program outcomes, we want children to learn, grow, and play. Teens to develop leadership and life skills, which is through our youth and government program. Seniors stay active and connective. We have seniors that come in and will play basketball in our gym. All are welcome in our inclusive and supportive environment. And the Family YMCA of the Desert, this is where the community grows. These are a few parent testimonials that we got, so I'll highlight the second one here. My boys have really enjoyed the YMCA and all the relationships that they have created. They also coordinate fun activities with outside organizations that create a fun and new experience, and that goes with partnering with our cities such as Indio. And thank you to all for each of you and everything you've done for the YMCA. We appreciate all the support.
Thank you, Justin. Any questions, any comments? I know near and dear to your heart, Mayor Pro Tem.
Just said mine.
Yeah, and Paula, would you like to come up and say something? Come on. No, we can't have a meeting without you coming up.
So I was just wanting to say, Justin, at the CVCT monthly meeting, you made an announcement, and it's kind of like you're full of spirit and will and good heart, but you're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is this one of your last presentations, or?
It is. So I'm actually moving to the state of Arizona. So I got an opportunity out there to be closer to family, but I love the YMCA and wanted to leave everything on a good note and be able to come here and be able to highlight all the great things. It was a very tough decision, and Indio has always been a huge supporter of us, but being close to family was a really big decision to make, and I've been here 9 years now, and I actually grew up here at this YMCA, so it was a very heartfelt moment, but, you know, I love the YMCA and everything that they've accomplished.
Well, I could say that you're leaving it better than you found it.
I really appreciate that.
Congratulations.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes. As the mayor said, the Y has just always been near and dear to my heart, and I love the services and the programs. Someday, I really hope that we can expand on that significantly. We have such a great city and a large need, a large group of families, of seniors, of kids, and so that would be my dream and my wish. And since College of the Desert came true, I'm certain YMCA is going to expand their services in some way. Thank you. Doris Mechanic is such a wonderful place. I love the kids there and the people, and thank you for the services that you provide at all levels throughout the Coachella Valley, because it's huge. It means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so
Furman?
much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming, and congratulations on your new venture. That's
Thank
great.
you.
Not that you're leaving to Arizona, but we wish you were staying here. Nonetheless, you know, thank you, and thank the YMCA. You know, we had a presentation about College of the Desert, the YMCA, and that just shows the collaborative effort in our valley when it comes to our youth. And anytime you want to change for the better, you always have to go through the kids. And our valley, our city especially, is very community oriented, and the Y is a big piece of that. I also too went through the YMCA. I played basketball for the YMCA. My brother worked for the YMCA, and so that just shows you how close we've been to it. So thank you for investing and committing to our youth, and we hope to grow that relationship here in Indio. You have a lot of sites. I want a big site, and so hopefully we continue to work towards something like that in the future. But just thank you for your commitment to our kids in our valley, especially the children who are underserved, because they need it, and you're going to change the trajectory of their lives, and you already have in your time. So I appreciate you, and good luck on your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Ortiz?
Sure. Thanks for coming to join us today, and yeah, thank you again to all of your staff for all the work that you guys do for our students, bringing those opportunities to kids. That after-school programs I know are extremely important to keeping our kids busy, keeping them off the tablets, keeping them busy over there, and then also helping our parents, right? Our parents who are working, who might not be able to pick their kids up right after school, and keeps them busy and keeps them on a positive direction when they get out of school. So I really appreciate that hard work. I also grew up at the YMCA here down the street. I remember going there. I didn't know English yet, and I remember everybody was so nice there. The staff was always, and that's one of the first memories I have actually of the city of Indio, is going there and learning from the staff there. So really appreciate you guys' hard work, and thank you again for joining us. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Oscar.
Justin, thank you for your presentation, your hard work and dedication. Congratulations on your new adventure, and Arizona's a beautiful state, and family's basically what it's all about, especially, so go home and be with some family members. And Paula, thank you for all you do, and we look forward to, you got the Hoedown coming up November 1st, I believe. So if you haven't been to the YMCA Hoedown, please join up and come down. Great organization, great cause, and really good event. So thank you very much. We appreciate it. Anything the city can do for you, please just ask.
Perfect. Thank you all.
Thank you. Two good presentations here, and now we got even a better one with the Youth Advisory Council.
Good evening, Mayor Miller and council members. My name is Isabel Duarte, and I am this year's Youth Advisory Council Mayor Pro Tem. Recently, we have hosted a street cleanup from Shields Park to the Teen Center, and we enjoyed connecting with each other while also helping our environment. Along with the street cleanup, City Council member Oscar Ortiz was a guest speaker at our meeting, and we were able to learn how to become involved politically, as well as the new policies he's working on. Soon, we will be running a stand at National Night Out, where we will host games and give prizes. We will be attending the upcoming LEAP conference at Desert Hot Springs High School, and can't wait to connect with other leadership groups. That's it for my report. Thank you.
Thank you for all you do. Mr. Gutron?
Just for the Youth Advisory Council, I've heard that you've had some really good presentations from members of staff and got a lot of feedback. So my challenge is back to your group of advisors to get back with your coordinator to come back with an internship program to start working in various departments of our city. We had it once before many years ago, and we inspired a lot of kids to be now that are planners and professionals in several environments, because it is inspiring. But I know that you normally give reports, but it's nice to interact with your body, your representatives. So thank you for all your good work and volunteerism in the community.
Yeah, thank you very much, and we appreciate it. Oscar, you want to say anything? You had an opportunity to speak to him?
No, just had a great time there. Thank you for inviting me to speak with you guys, and just had the opportunity to share a little bit about my school experience, work experience, working here on the council, but then also got to hear from some of the students about what they're interested in, the careers that they're looking at, including, I remember engineering was one of them, environmental policy, and then work in the legal field as well. So it was very, very great to get to know you guys a little bit more, and let me know if you guys ever need anything. Thanks.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Law enforcement in there?
Yep.
Law enforcement?
And you can, if you want to excuse yourself from the meeting, you can. If you want to stay, please, it's up to you. So we got a few more things, so it's up to whatever you like to do. So with that, we'll move on to item number 7 now, which is City Manager Report and Information. Mr. Montgomery?
Thank you, Mayor. Some more exciting news. It's been a great meeting thus far. We do have a date now from the county for the opening of the library. So the new Indio Library to the public will be open on October 15th, so we're only a couple of weeks away. This site will be a little bit still in commotion as the construction continues, probably for the next few months. However, it looks like mid-November for the opening of City Hall. At least staff will be there. We'll be able to operate out of there. We'll make notice, but a couple of the days will have to be closed just to make sure we can get everything moved over, our servers and the like. So mid-November for City Hall and just a couple of weeks for the library. And all the exciting things that just happened downtown. Food Truck Fridays, of course, every Friday. In November, we'll get rolling with the Farmers Market. Mentioned was the National Night Out. I know the chief and his team are getting ready there at the stage on October 7th. Then on October 9th, we will have a movie at Center Stage. And then on October 11th, our Halloween showcase of local talent for our second Saturday concert series. So a lot going on downtown, and we invite everyone to participate. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Montgomery. So when we're having the ribbon cutting, we'll be announcing that for the library and getting that open, and City Hall will be a soft opening, then we'll do a big one in February or so, I anticipate, once we have everything in place.
Yeah, I think that would be best. Relative to City Hall, we'll just have a lot going on as the existing City Hall comes down, and it really won't be completely done till the spring. But we did just hear just within the last hour or two the confirmation from the county for October 15th for that ribbon cutting. So we'll get the word out tomorrow and help invite folks to that. There is a day before event where some others in the community will be able to come and see the library, and we'll get both invitations to you directly.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Montgomery, for all your hard work. With that, we'll move on to the City Council Conflict of Interest disclosures. Does anybody have to recuse themselves on anything?
I do. Okay. Surprise, surprise. On the consent calendar, it's item 10.10.
10.10. Anyone else want to pull anything or want to have a conflict? No?
Mine's going to be 10.5 to discuss.
Let me go move on to the next one. Okay. We have a couple things before.
Okay.
So just want to make the conflicts. So we'll do that. We'll do the other ones as we're going along. With that, we'll move on to the City Council reports on meetings attended for the Government Code, Section 53232.3D. Mr. Gutron, do you have a report for us?
I just have a couple. So on the 23rd of September, I was able to attend the annual faith-based partnership dinner, which occurs every year. It was kind of interesting because before I was a member of the department and coordinating it, but it's our police chaplains and those that are that support the police department and community. And every year what it is to network and touch base with all the pastors, the reverends, the fathers, and the bishops. And it's just a really good opportunity because our faith-based community represent a lot of our community. And even those that go to our neighboring cities, Cachao and La Quinta, and live here, those faith-based representatives come. So it was great. I would say there was about 40 that attended, and the department was able to get Chick-fil-A for everyone. So they got a little bit of taste of coming to Indio. And the owners of the ones off I-10 west of us were delighted to participate in our helping our current upcoming manager open that place up. So it was really nice networking. Everybody enjoyed it. My second one was the Desert Recreation Foundation, as you know, I'm a part of, and it's the fundraising portion of DRD. It's there to raise funds for those that need assistance with financial assistance, being the single parent, the grandparents, that want to get those kids in a variety of sports and programs that they have. Or also, it's also to help those with adaptive sports. There is a big program through DRD, and the foundation helps supply a lot of that. And other things that have come, the swimming classes and filling out the grants that Kaiser Hospital does, all the swimming classes you see throughout the district, it's all through those efforts. But we still need a little bit, so we do a few fundraisers every year, and every single nickel and dime goes directly to the need, not to staff, not to offset any other costs, but those participants. And we're very fortunate that Fantasy Springs Casino, supported by the Cabazon Band and Mission Indians, donate 20 lanes, and we fill them up with sponsorships. And various organizations, the city of Indio participated financially by contributing, but we also had the Indio Police Association, the Indio Police Command Unit participate, and the city of Indian Wells, the city of La Quinta, the city of Coachella, and the special districts as well. And the Vector Control District, as you know, I sit there, they came in for the first time and walked away with a winning trophy. We raised about $17,500 in about 2.5 hours. Nice. And so it was a great event. It's nice to see the camaraderie and the relationship between those special agencies. They really come together, and they really enjoy it. And the thanks again to Fantasy, donate all the hot dogs and hamburgers for everybody to eat. So I want to thank those organizations for participating, and that will benefit Indio. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. John. Mr. Ortiz?
Thank you, Mayor. This morning I toured the new St. John's Community Health Center. They have a great new facility on Monroe and 111. They have some great services there. They have benefits counselors to make sure that people are accessing all the benefits that they have available, and they have a sliding scale fee system for those who don't have insurance. They offer medical care, dental care, mental health, and family counseling, and help with substance abuse as well. So much needed services here in our city. They also have their own pharmacy and a lab to process medical samples. So that was really cool. I haven't seen a community health center with that many services in a while. So it was great to see them joining us here in the city. Last week I also joined the Youth Advisory Council, as Isabel mentioned earlier. I shared some of my experiences with school and work and working as a council member here. And then they shared with me some of the goals they have in their careers, things that they're interested in, including engineering, environmental policy, and working in the legal field. So just want to say thank you again to the Youth Advisory Council for having me over at your meeting. I also attended the Fine Food Bank ribbon cutting for their second building for their warehouse out there. Some great work going on there, expanding their efforts. They distribute about 2 million pounds of food every month, and so they do need a lot of volunteer help. So if you or any of your friends or coworkers are looking for volunteer opportunities, definitely reach out to Fine Food Bank and go help them out over there. Lastly, I just want to remind everyone that we have a few events coming up for our community. On October 9th, we'll be having our free movie night at Center Stage in downtown, and they'll be showing the movie Wicked. And then for our free Second Saturdays concert on October 11th, we'll be having some local bands and a Halloween-themed concert. So hope to see you all there. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. Mr. Furman?
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I just want to, there's been a couple mentions about the Coachella Valley Vector District, right? If you haven't been there for a tour, go check it out. It's pretty cool. You know, he talked about the kids liking that. I went, and I was a kid when I went there. So if you haven't been to Vector Control, you know, look them up. Councilmember Gatron's on the board. I'm pretty sure he has some information how you can get a hold of them. Just go take a tour and learn about what they actually do. Just to share a service that I recently used with them. I was in my backyard with my dogs recently and got bit by an ant, and it left a pretty nasty wound on my foot. So I was amazed. So I called over there through our conversations, and they came over. They sprayed my backyard. They said I had the red fire ants, and you know I live close to the canal, and so good service, good folks over there. So if you get a chance, you know we have some great special districts here, and that's one of them. So pay those folks a visit, and they welcome it. They have some pretty cool stuff. They do some drone stuff out there, in the middle of nowhere where we probably won't see them, where they're spraying and looking for different insects out there. So pretty cool stuff. So check them out. So I have a brief one. I didn't make it to the Fine Food Bank opening because I had a Visit Greater Palm Springs meeting. And during that meeting, we had a very important topic that was brought up. It was a discussion item, and it was on PM10 particulate matter in our air, right? And I won't get too technical with it because it's not my field, but I will just put it in English, is our air quality has gotten worse over time, and particularly after Tropical Storm Hillary. And a lot of us are noticing it when you come into the desert, driving on the freeway, you can see the air quality has gotten bad. So there was a lot of discussion going on with the supervisor's office with South Coast AQMD, which he's on that board. And they have put some new sensors out in the Coachella Valley so they could monitor our air quality. And we've all come to the consensus that after that tropical storm, our air quality has gotten worse. And that PM10 is a fine dust, and it's particles that you inhale and it gets in your lungs, and it could cause a lot of respiratory issues. And so there's some efforts ongoing now that we're trying to mitigate that. And so that was a discussion item and presentation that the supervisor's office had there, because it does affect our tourism and our residents here as well. But that's something that we want to look at as well in respect to tourism, because that's what Visit Greater Palm Springs, that's what we do in that board. And just to put this out there, the supervisor will be having a Coachella Valley Dust Summit on Thursday, November 6, 2025 at 5 p.m. at the UCR campus in Palm Desert. So that's something that we'll pay attention to as well. And I also had a Coachella Valley Power Agency meeting. And, as we continue to evolve in our energy here in Indio and the eastern Coachella Valley, it's a lot of interest, and it's great work we're doing. We made a lot of progress. And this meeting, there was a lot of folks there interested in what we're doing, other entities, residents, because they see the progress we made here. Not to talk about other agencies, but you see rising costs are going up. And the City of Indio and IID working in partnership, we've been able to enhance our infrastructure and in the future with this partnership that we created, and still keep our rates relatively low in the state. And so, and this item that we passed that I'm going to speak about, it just shows the collaborative spirit with IID as some of our projects that they will be actually contributing to on a project by project basis within this power agency. So we're continuing to make strides with Imperial Irrigation. And so that was just another good meeting. It was a fast meeting. We didn't have too much on it. But nonetheless, that item that we passed was very important. And to finish off, I did attend the Texas Roadhouse second anniversary ribbon cutting. That's great. They've been so busy, we hadn't had a chance to get one. So we finally were able to get that ribbon cutting done. It was a lot of fun. I was there with the mayor and Mayor Pro Tem and some staff, and a lot of folks showed out, and we got some food and some treats and played games. We got a little rain on us, but it's just another business in our community that we like to celebrate, and looking for more to come. And on top of that, in our partnership with IID, we're able to attract more businesses like this, because without that power infrastructure, we're not going to be able to do that. And that's why the floodgates are open now. Miguel is very busy, and so that will conclude my presentation, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mayor Pro Tem?
Always interesting, and yes, the floodgates are open. We are definitely rocking in the city of Indio. The first thing I wanted to talk about was the Fine Food Bank ribbon cutting for their new facility and property there. It is just it's huge. The warehouse is absolutely huge. And what's so meaningful about that is that we can now serve, Fine Food Bank can now serve a much greater population. They can store more food. There is a tremendous need here in our community with the kids, with the seniors, with people that have challenges. They serve everything from the churches to the schools and beyond. and beyond throughout the entire Coachella Valley and beyond that as well. So their ability then now to store more food, to receive more food, and to be able to create, and their goal is just to reduce food insecurity completely, 100%, through all the communities, and to provide all the services beyond food, and to really help people understand how to eat good nutrition, especially our kids in school. So it was really great to see that and have that in our community. I was there with the mayor, Councilmember Oscar Ortiz. I think Ben, were you there as well? I think we were all there. I mean, you were doing other stuff there at the JPA. So excellent day. Texas Roadhouse was fun. I think for years we kept wanting to get a sit-down restaurant. Kept saying, well, not enough people, not enough rooftops, so on and so forth. Texas Roadhouse is busy constantly, all the time. We need to expand it. We need something else. We need something. Texas Roadhouse is outstanding. It's a popular place. Everybody loves it. The food, the atmosphere is just consistently high quality. Attended the Indio Resource Fair. Thank you, City of Indio and staff, for doing really an extraordinary job with this. And it was really wonderful and well attended at Chavez Event Center. And it was where you could come in, you could capture information, you could meet with city staff, credit unions, banks, really everything that evolves around business. How you open a business, how you start a business, how you permit a business, how you fund a business, just really every level of business. And that's what the City of Indio is all about, is business. And thank you again to staff, because they have really opened the doors. The doors have swung wide open, and they're doing really a great job in encouraging businesses and being able to provide that level of service. Along with the mayor, we attended, not with the mayor, but we were both at the Ronald McDonald House event. And what that is, sadly, there's such a need. So many of our kids that are born with health issues prematurely, whatever the case may be, that end up at Loma Linda, that our hospitals can't manage, or can't provide that level of care. So they end up at Loma Linda University Hospital, and there's a Ronald McDonald House there, and they really provide that continuum of care for the kids. While the kids are getting treatment or of one type or another, the family can stay close by. Families do not pay anything. They live in an apartment, they are provided meals, and that way they can stay with their child or their baby throughout all of the challenges and all of the care. And we raised a couple $100,000, and was really, really cool, as Mark and Nicole Tadros here, Aziz Farms. They are so focused on local, and what they gave away, everybody, all the people that are honored give away something. It's part of a help me out, Glenn. It's an auction. It's part of a live auction. And he gave away our stage. Indio is the place to party is the title, and so they auctioned off our stage along with just gift certificates to local restaurants and a certain dollar amount, and went out for $40,000. I'll tell you what, the room was really excited to hear about Indio, and when he talked about all the different things going on here and why it was so important to really function in a local manner. His T-shirt had "I am local" on it. It really warmed my heart, and it just really speaks to all the things we have going on here, and valley-wide, how important that is. That's kind of a couple other things I wanted to bring up. You know what? I have to say this. Everybody knows I'm an animal lover, I'm a dog lover. So Friday the 3rd is National Walk Your Dog to Work Day. So I expect to see everybody out walking their dog from home to work. It's a special day to get your pooch out and enjoy the walk. Two things I wanted to bring up. The library. City manager, I see, Rancho Mirage, I see Palm Desert, a lot of the libraries are converting from the county over to city-run libraries. I don't have all the details and information, but I wondered if that's something we can or should consider, what the cost benefit might be, and I guess I would like to explore why some of the other cities are doing that and what it would mean for the City of Indio to consider.
City Council.
So, chat about that?
Oh, yeah. I definitely support what you're asking. I think that we've been the largest city. We have 24 schools. We probably have over 35,000 youth plus the senior community. I think we need to probably step up and look at that and do our own.
you know, we can enhance some of the programs or have more programs, that would be absolutely terrific. The other thing I wanted to bring up, everybody knows my passion for businesses, particularly small businesses, but all businesses in our community. Everything we've talked about just about on this dais is business, and how we support it, how they are thriving within our community. And there's been really a groundswell of some of the local businesses that desired their own local chamber specific to Indio, the city of Indio. And so there's been this grassroots efforts to build and start a local chamber. And I'd like to maybe put a presentation on the agenda, if that's okay with my council members, for the October 15th, so that we can all, you know, see what's going on, hear about it, find out about it, and get some additional information on it.
I had just communicated to the city manager's office since I've been aboard, hearing a lot of comments regarding that. It's all over the map, and I think it's important. I asked that we basically have a study session, really discuss in depth what our position, what our goals, what our wishes are for our business community, because I think it's important that we do that.
I think
it's ironic that you bring that up. We're all on the same page, but I think we do. I mean, the city of Indio made a decision to go in this direction, and now we have to evaluate because people are speaking up. So I think we do need to.
Mr. Ortiz?
Thank you.
Yeah, on the library issue, I would like to see, you know, what different options are out there, but I would like to also consider how in those different options we can keep the current staff there. I think they're well liked by the community. They've been there for a while, and they know our local kids and our students there. So I'd like to see how we can keep them involved in those operations if we are moving in a different direction. On the chamber side, I think the study session will be good, but also I think we need to see what different options we have, right? So not have a study session for one option, but let's look at several options that we have for those chamber services, and also what cost and who would be in charge of those services. Thanks.
I'd like to clarify something on that. There is already an organization that a group of small businesses that have stepped up to form a new Indio Chamber of Commerce, and I guess I'm asking for the opportunity for that group to be able to present, you know, the processes that they've gone through so far, and just as a matter of information.
I think, you know, we can always look and see what our needs and wants are for our business community in the city of Indio. But as far as someone coming to present, I mean, we can have anyone come to present. That's fine. I don't have any problem with that. Still, just like we talk parks, we might work on one park, but we still do study sessions on parks, right? So we could do a study session. Nonetheless, if that group wants to come and present to us and show us what they have been working on, by all means, why not?
So I think we all agree with the city manager, if it's right with the council, maybe myself and the mayor pro tem will work with Bryan to figure out what we're going to do, so it's not willy-nilly, so we can come up with a plan and then present it when we can, to make sure that we're being equal with everyone, and we got a game plan in place to listen to it. So that it's just not 3 minutes. If not, anybody can come up to the mic and speak for 3 minutes.
And plus, it's not that we're doing anything, we're just listening.
Yes, we're listening.
Yeah,
Perfect. Okay. Is there anything else, Mayor Pro Tem?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Had a couple of committees. One was CBAG Executive. The mayors usually sit on that, or an appointee from each city and the county supervisor. We had our meeting this time for the first time because the building's getting knocked down in Palm Desert. We were at the Coachella Valley Water District's main office in Hoveley. Couple items that included Indio. One is they're going to take over the extra CV Link area that's not in our purview. They've agreed to do that. I guess they're going to work directly with Ortiz Construction, who's doing our bridge on 44. There's an area outside that CV Link isn't going to be completed, and so CBAG will pay for that directly instead of reimbursing the city of Indio. They will do the project in-house with them and contract with them, so we won't have to do that. That was approved by the board, so we'll be getting that done. The other part is the STIP money from the short-term transportation plan. They have a certain amount. It's really gone down over the last few years. It really looks like they even discussed among the members to maybe never do an interchange again because they might not have the money to be able to do it. unless they do the 1 cent sales tax for the Riverside County Transportation Commission that they estimate would raise about $100 million for the Coachella Valley alone if it was able to do it. But right now they're pretty strapped for money, so they agreed for the money for 2026, which is about $6 million is what we're getting from the funding. It would go to CV Sync and to try and finish up that and get that completed, because right now if you drive through the valley, and this is my personal opinion, it's a disaster. They're saying it's going to take about 5 years to get this whole thing synced together before it actually works right. And so it's going to be a difficult time for a lot of people. So, you know, if there is a light out there that's not working well, we can contact the city, but really should contact CVAG and let them know where that area is so that we can tell them what lights are not turning or not working or taking too long or going too quickly, because we've heard that from a lot of people, and people are actually running lights because they're sitting there for so long and there's nobody coming that they're just turning, and that's just very unsafe. Yeah, Mr. Gutron?
Maybe, I mean, I'm still promoting the My App, Indio.
Yeah.
Maybe the My App could funnel into something and we just keep referring that list, because I have a hard time communicating even with street lights being out, because we're getting charged regardless on every street light in the city. There's a flat charge, they're not metered. And so if I see them out, I'm reporting them. The city manager just told us about a whole slew, but there was a reason. But I think if traffic isn't moving in certain areas, we depend on the police. It's really not a police issue, it's an engineering issue. So maybe adding that, having a problem with the street light, they'll press that, put in the location, then they'll send the tech or whatever in the world they do.
Yeah, well, we can look into that. And the reason I bring it up is that there's so many of them, and there's so many issues that we could give it to our staff. It's a safety concern, please. We need to know that so that people aren't getting hurt or there's something unsafe about it. But really it goes to CVAG and their organization to let them know that these lights aren't working, so we can do that. The other thing is there's a real big push for shade trees, and CVAG put in for the state of California a grant, I guess it was $30 million through the state to provide shade trees. They got $3 million of it. Most of it is going to the East Valley Thermal in that area, into their area, except for in mediums, they're going to be able to do it. But what surprised me, it was 6,000 trees and it was $3 million. So that averages out to $500 for a 15-gallon tree is what it's going to come out to, because they're doing that with irrigation, and then we're responsible for them. Whoever CVAG puts it in, they look an eye on them, and CVAG will actually GPS them and do all the other stuff. But I thought it was quite interesting that it was $500 for a 15-gallon tree. So
That's pretty, I'm impressed that we all have the most intelligent trees on the planet if
yes,
we have GPS.
so look for trees coming near you.
Question on the lights. You said the Riverside County 1% sales tax would raise $100 million.
They say it'll raise $100 million
per
for
year?
the Coachella Valley. When all the sales tax that goes in, it gets divided up based on areas. You got the rest of Riverside County besides the Coachella Valley, and you got Palo Verde. Palo Verde is like 0.5% of all the money that comes in. The Coachella Valley is going down. We're about 18.5%, and then the rest of it's the rest of the Riverside County.
And that's $100 million per year?
It's $100 million per year. Okay. Yeah, so it'd be come in and we can do side streets and everything else, but it limits the capacity. Or after that, there is no other money to be able to come out, because we're at that maximum unless the state of California changes how much sales tax that could go up. You can only go up to a certain amount. I think it's 10.5% if I'm correct.
And then for the trees, could we get a breakdown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't decided where they're going to go yet. They decided that a lot of the shade trees would go into the areas of thermal, Mecca, and Oasis in that area, because they're more of areas that have need.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them would go into the cities in the mediums and everything else throughout the Coachella Valley.
I'm just wondering, how much is going towards labor, how much is going towards irrigation, how much is going towards...
Yeah, so I'll get a breakdown for you.
Cool.
And so we asked for that ourselves too, and that was through Emmanuel Martinez, and he did not have the breakdown for us to be able to provide it, but we had to agree to take that grant then and there, or it moved on to somebody else, and they weren't going to give up the $3 million. So that's for CVAG. The other one was Sunline Transit Agency. Basically, pretty much was our normal meeting, except for one thing, is we're having a lot of issues with some of our committees that we have on Sunline. We have different committees, finance, taxi, and that. They're not able to get a lot of people to show up, so they're not having the committee meetings. So what they decided to do, which I disagreed with and I voted no on, is that if there is another board member there that's present, they can step in and vote on that subject for that committee. But the reason I voted against it was if we don't have a committee, it automatically goes to the full board anyways, and if we just get a review there, they feel it's saved time, because once you have a board committee, like let's say taxing, we agree to it, there is not really a written report or anything else. It's just a basic thing. We say, yes, it was approved unanimously by the taxing committee, and the rest of the board goes, okay, and we move on. If not, and there is not a committee meeting, they literally break it down for all the members to tell us what that reason is, why we're having it, why we're going to do it. I felt that was more appropriate than to bring somebody in just to fill the spot to make a vote. But they voted it. There was 3 of us that voted the other way, Rancho Mirage, Palm Springs, and myself. But so that was kind of a unique situation with Sunline, but they are doing good work, and they have a lot of new shade structures going in, as you'll notice throughout the city of Indio and the Coachella Valley, to help with some of the shade during the heat, and also to make it easier for people to be able to sit down and when they're out waiting for the buses to come in. So that was it. A couple of the ribbon cuttings. So I Fine Food Bank, I think the Mayor Pro Tem and all of us said it right. You know, Fine Food Bank has been a great partner with us. They feed, I think, over 150,000 people. They got 12,000 square miles they cover. This warehouse that they were able to dedicate doubles their capacity, and they're able to give out 2 million pounds of food to be able to do more, but it's able to bring storage in, because what happens with a lot of the food banks is it comes in bulk, and if you don't have a place to store it, then it moves to the next area. This way they can take a lot of it, put it up in there, because they'll bring it back out. And so it was great to see the whole Coachella Valley come together because of how important that is to not just us, but the whole Coachella Valley as a whole. So every city was represented. The county was there. Dr. Ruiz was there. So the state, everybody was there to look at the new warehouse. But it just isn't the warehouse. It's also workforce development programs. So they're not only going to try and feed people now, they're kind of trying to educate them so they can get off the food program. So my hat's off to Debbie, Kelly, and the whole staff at Fine Food Bank, and all the volunteers that actually make it work. And so appreciate that. And then one last one is the touring of the library. Councilmember Ortiz, myself, with Senator Padilla and our staff, toured the library and City Hall. Very impressed with Senator Padilla. Came down, had to spend a lot of time in Indio, looked throughout the whole town. It was an invite from, they got over to Councilmember Ortiz, and he was able to look at what we're doing here and took some notes and took some pictures to be able to show the rest of his constituency that he has throughout. He's in San Diego, Imperial County, and parts of the Coachella Valley, what the city of Indio is doing. So my hat's off to our staff and our Tilden Coyle partners for giving us the tour and showing us everything that's going on. Once it opens up, you'll really be impressed at not only the design, but also the configuration that went into it for time and effort to be able to make sure that the staff is efficient and able to work in a quick manner. So the building is really well laid out. So we appreciate all that. And with that, we will move on to our consent calendar next. Item 10, we do have a recusal on 1010 from Mayor Pro Tem Holmes. And does anybody want to pull anything? Mr. Gutron, you said you wanted to pull a couple?
Yes, please. What I was going to pull was 10-7. The next one, that's under public hearings. But yes, 10-7.
10-7? You said something about 10-5. Just 10-7?
Well, it was 10-5 because the Youth Advisory Council was here, and I wanted to read the ordinance so they can understand the process. So,
do you want to pull 10-5 or not?
Yes, please.
Okay. So we got 10-5, 10-7. Anybody else? Okay, Mr. Gutron, why don't you do your 2, and then we'll note that when we vote, the Mayor Pro Tem doesn't have to leave because 10-10 was not pulled. We will just recuse her on that item.
So 10-5, what I was wanting to do is have it presented so the Youth Advisory Council can hear what was going on.
Okay. And who's there to present? Do we have somebody that's able to talk on the subject? Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Ramirez, welcome.
Because he introduced it from our last previous.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the Council. Jose Ramirez, Principal Management Analyst. So Ordinance 1822, Smoke-Free Areas. The first reading was at our last council meeting, and per council's direction, we added an amendment to it. So ordinance 1822 is to add smoke-free areas that include vaping and cannabis in outdoor dining areas, plazas, parks, and playgrounds, service lines, and within 25 feet of entrances, windows, and air intakes. For multi-unit housing, new and renewed leases must include smoke-free provisions beginning January 1st, 2026. Exceptions include private residences not open to the public, moving vehicles, and traditional indigenous ceremonies. And after the amendment, it also includes private smoking events. This draft was informed by community input presented on May 21st by American Cancer Society and Shadow Hills Interact Club, where they shared the benefits of adopting smoke-free policy in our community, where the goal is to reduce secondhand smoke exposure and provide clear, consistent rules in shared spaces. With that, staff recommends approving the ordinance tonight.
And Sab, one second, but, and Sabdi, we did receive a letter from the American Cancer Society
Yes,
on this?
public comments, and they were posted on the website.
Thank you. Is that enough, Mr. Cutrone?
That was it. It's just, again, our youth of our community from the Interact Club of Shadow Hills High School, from our Rotary Club of Indio, and then our Youth Advisory Council from our Teen Center. Just want to make sure that the youth understand that we do hear them, and this is the process that we follow. It could have, I mean, I know it was going to be approved, but I think it's important that they knew that we do listen. So, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
And 10-7?
And 10-7 was the amount not to exceed regarding the IID offsite. I had asked the city manager to get a report so we can understand why the extra cost and also the delay. So,
Mr. Ramirez, are you handling this for us, sir?
Yes, sir. Jose Ramirez, Principal Management Analyst. So as Councilmember Furman mentioned in his presentation, he talked about some of the work that City of Indio and IID have done to increase our power infrastructure. This project is to bring power to the northeast corner of Avenue 42nd and Jackson Street. And this specific item, 10.7, is to request approval for a change order with GCX, who is the contractor completing the off-site power work. And this work will bring power to the area and fulfill the city's obligation under our cooperation agreement with Can Do LLC, who is the Greens developer. That cooperation agreement was approved by council on October 2nd, 2024. And the agreement is that the City of Indio is responsible for completing the IID off-site work to bring power to the site. In exchange, the developer would construct the clubhouse parking lot. So approval of this change order keeps us on track to energize not only the new golf course clubhouse, but the Chick-fil-A and Dutch Brothers as well. And part of the added cost reflects a few different things that cause delays and cost impacts on this project. One of them was made on August 7th, 2025, where IID requested a relocation of a vault that is just north of AutoZone. That was the reason that we got was that there was existing, once they did the work, there was existing conduits that were found. And at that point, our contractor had already built conduits and they had already been encased. So after they got news that the vault needed to be relocated, they had to remove it, resurvey and stake the area, as well as reinstalling the vault. Other added costs were due to field variances and unknown site conditions where conduit locations differed from the plan, requiring the contractor to trace and locate the conduits. This increased scope was not in our original contract with GCX, so that is why a change order was requested. The change order, just wanted to note that the change order is within the existing budget, so no new appropriation is being requested. And with that, I'm available for any questions, and IID staff are also present for questions as well.
with this little hiccup, what is the delay based on where we're at in our timeline?
So originally, the contractor was expecting to complete the work in the spring or summer of 2025. Now it looks like we might not have power until January of 2025. 2026, sorry. Sorry about that.
Well, I appreciate that because that's what I expressed to the city manager. We want the public to know the efforts that have been there. It's just unforeseen circumstances beyond our control that this had to be done, because there is a lot of talk about what's being done out there, and I'd hate to think what's going on. And there's a lot of big interest in the opening of that facility. It's going to be great when it's open. But.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Furman?
Yeah, thank you for the report and reporting out. This is one of those things that happens sometimes. You start, moving dirt and figure out that something doesn't align, and so it is important that we let the public know that this project is still moving forward. I drive by there every day, and it's already looking great. That intersection looks way different. Dutch Brothers is already vertical, and it speaks to already the collaborative effort that we have with Imperial Irrigation, and so this is something that needs to be done so we can keep moving forward and be on track for January. So hopefully we get there by January. So thank you for your report.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rizzi. Good job. Keep it.
Yeah, Wayman and Bryan, if we could though, if we could keep this up on, because we have the sports park, it's not up. We have this, but this is going to affect the golf course clubhouse and their economics, what they put down for their budget for us, because they were planning on that clubhouse being open. We're in prime season, so if it goes past January, we're already missing a couple months. So we really need to look at it, make sure we don't scrutinize Landmark, our partners, for not meeting their goals, because they're just not going to be able to. Plus, they've got people that are hired, probably more than likely, looking at people to fill those positions, and we're going to have to tell them we're not able to hire them. So there's a little bit more to this than just moving off. So we need to really look at that. Antonio, did you want to say something, sir? Come on up. Let's let the mic get on first real quick. There you go.
All right, that may make it better. Good evening, Mayor, council members. Antonio Ortega, Government Affairs for Imperial Irrigation District. I'm not going to add too much. I think Jose did a great job with this presentation. But I think to your comments, I think one of the action items, Guillermo Barraza, who is our manager of distribution services that some of you may recognize, is here as well. But we had a phone call with Jose yesterday to talk about this project, but also one of the first action items after today is putting together an all-hands meeting, not just with our team, but with your teams, to make sure that not just this project, but the other projects that you have in the pipeline, that we have a well-coordinated, oiled machine, that we're all functioning on all cylinders. But again, this is a unique project. There are multiple buildings and the clubhouse. But again, you have many more projects in the pipeline. And again, we just want to make sure that IID has all of its staff and resources available, that we are addressing any challenges out in the field when they arise, but also putting together our best efforts with our engineers to give you those timelines and deadlines so you can share that information with your constituents here in the city. So again, just wanted to reiterate our commitment to making sure that you meet those deadlines.
Well, thank you, Antonio. And it's just not us. It's our businesses that rely on us to be able to do it. So we understand that in the partnership, we're investing almost $80 million into IID, basically, with our substations to make sure we don't have this issue. But I'd be disservice to the rest of the city if I didn't say that this keeps happening and happening and happening with a lot of our businesses, and we just got to get a little bit more hands-on. And so I applaud the meeting for the teamwork. But yeah, we had the apartments, we had the hotel, we had Uno Barbecue. It's just there's a lot of those things that are going on, and the public's really looking forward to like our sports park and that. And when it doesn't come up, then it looks like it's a failure of the city council and the city that we're not meeting our guidelines or what's going on. So we appreciate the teamwork and we look forward to working with it. And you got Wayman Furman helping you and our rest of our staff. So hopefully we can get this under control. And once we get the rest of those substations in, hopefully it's smooth sailing.
All right. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I think one of my concerns is that, some of these changes are happening in the middle of construction. And so our businesses aren't expecting this extra charge to come up, right? And I just think it's detrimental to business for the city, right? When these changes come in so late in the phase of construction. So I guess what is the plan on IID's end to make sure that these changes are coming up earlier in the process so that our businesses can anticipate these costs before beginning the construction and committing their funds to these projects?
Yeah, no, and again, I think Guillermo from our distribution team, who could walk you through some of those processes at a very high level, maybe just address that question.
Yes, good evening, Mayor.
Good evening.
council members, Guillermo Barraza here, manager of the Quinta office. Basically, we have a system in place. When we receive the plans from the applicants, project proponents, we prepare a preliminary conduct job. That conduct job is submitted to the project proponent for review and comments. At times, some of those issues are identified ahead of time, and that's the reason why we send it out as a preliminary for review and comments. So if there is a revision required, we do it at that time. Like in this case, these preliminary plans were sent out in October 2024. We made them final December 24. Some of the, like this particular bolt that it was mentioned earlier, it was identified to be intercepted on an existing line. We wanted to push it all the way to the end of the project because we didn't know what was, on the way. It happens that, it required a little bit more work, but it was feasible to intercept it there and install it there. Then later the contractor selected, push it south, so it was a free route. There was no conflicts at all. So mainly, I think if we follow that, we do the preliminary review, those issues can be identified right ahead of, the project, and that would avoid some of those impacts.
Gotcha. But what is the change from what you were doing before to what you're doing now?
No, that's the actual process. We prepare the plan, we locate all the bolt, pull boxes, transformers, and everything. We round the conduits, layout, and everything. We submit it for the developer or the applicant, project proponent review. They evaluate it with their team, and they see ahead of time if they perceive any issues, conflicts, mitigations are required, relocations of bolts, switches, or anything. So that's the process, and I think it works out really good. We just need to do it at the beginning of the project. Okay. Before the project starts.
So you're saying you're going to move the preliminary review to earlier in the process?
It is the first step of the process. It's just like if the review doesn't happen or it doesn't happen in detail, some of those issues are not identified until further down the road.
Okay, but if we're doing it early in the process now, then why are we identifying them so late in the process?
Well, those, we received the AutoCAD drawings from the developer or the project proponent. We use the best of our knowledge to locate those bolts, pull backs, the transformer paths, and everything. At times, we don't know all the details of the project, so for the best of our knowledge, we locate them where we think they're the right locations. Now, if there is any revisions, well, those revisions are not originated by IID. They're by the developer or the contractor in some cases, based on whatever they're going to build around those structures. That's when they require, it doesn't work there, just move it to this corner or this, and that works out. Again, at the beginning, before they do the bids, is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Once they do the bid and they have everything in place, it's hard because any revision is going to cause a change.
Yeah.
But we're trying to do it ahead of time.
Okay. And then so I guess maybe in the future we need closer communication with developers and IID in the city on any revisions that get made to any project so that we can identify that extra cost that might be coming in on the IID side and identify it as soon as possible and communicate that with the businesses. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, and I think it's probably I would like to add a comment. Like,
sure.
When we send the conduit jobs, there are two portions, conduit job and cable job. The conduit job, once we prepare the plans, we send it out for construction. So the developer, the project proponent, and the city are responsible to install all the bolts, conduit system, pullbacks, transformer paths, and everything. The only thing where it's incurred there is the inspection from IID. The other part of the project is the cable job, and IID will install all the transformers, cable, switches, terminations, everything. And so this actual cost didn't incur on the cable job, which is the IID part that is going to do their work. This happened on the county system, county job.
Gotcha.
So it's basically just kind of the civil work part, you want to call it.
Okay.
But it's not, this cost was not on the IAD job, or the IAD work was on the contractor work.
But the request made to change the way that was developed was through IID, wasn't it?
It's requested by the contractor to IAD, hey, you know what, can you change the drawings? And we do, but was not initiated by IAD. It's requested. And IAD does the change and send the reviews.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Anything else, Mr. Ortiz?
No, that'll be it.
So, thank you. You know, with this a longer discussion, we'll leave this to Mr. Furman and our staff to work at it. But it is discouraging sometimes, though, when we get like the apartment's got a $2.3 million bill. That's a lot of off. So, you know, there's a few things that we need to look at. And then, you know, like in the city of Ray is from our water authority. If we give somebody a quote and it's not right, we eat it. So unless they change it, you know, there shouldn't be any great changes, because what happens, and I think what Councilmember Ortiz is saying, is that they're $10 million into this project and they got nowhere to turn around, and all of a sudden they get a bill, either pay this or we're not going to turn your power on, we're not going to do that. You know, that just doesn't sit well with a lot of businesses, and doesn't sit well with the city of Indio when we're looking at trying to bring other businesses in, because they're not able to set that cost down of what it's going to cost them to be able to get with power. Just like when they want to come into us, they want to know exactly what the fees are, how much it's going to cost, and what it is, so they can get in there to pencil it out to make sure it works. So we'll leave it to Mr. Furman and our staff to work with you to come up with some ideas to make it simpler for us, because we got a lot of growth coming. So we're going to need some help.
There's more coming.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm happy to you know, coordinate these meetings, and looking forward to complete this project all the way to an energization of all the different, you know, projects that you have in that area as well. I mean, yeah, we're pushing forward with the sport park and everything else.
Yeah, get the sports park up, get the golf course clubhouse up. Well,
yeah, no,
we'll be a lot happier.
And we're right now on the winter time.
Yeah.
And I discussed with Bryan, is when we get to the winter time, if we're still dealing with the railroad crossing, you know, for the library and everything, we can definitely energize. With existing facilities, we don't have any issues in the winter, so we're good. Other thing that I wanted to add, like some of this conduit system on 42, one of the benefits, and we discussed this with Bryan, one of the benefits to having the parallel system on the north side of 42 is that now with the new substation bank on 42 and Avenue 40, that will provide the means to push power through back and forth with Shadow Hills. In the past, we only had the south, and it's really limited. We only have one crossing. So that's definitely gonna help also for the big picture, for the, you know, the new capacity.
So we'll be able to loop it, basically?
Yes. Yeah, back up and loop it and reconfigure some of the loading. We push it towards Shadow Hills, or we pick up some of the power that Shadow Hills is picking up right now.
Right.
We free up some capacity on Shadow Hills, and we can start something on Gulf Center, Avenue 44, and so on.
We want to push it out to the Indio border.
Oh, it is.
Stop there.
It is.
I want you to loop it back.
No, it's still Indio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Antonio.
Guillermo.
Thank both of
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
I was
All
just
right.
going to add, Mayor, just quickly thanking Guillermo specifically. When I call, he picks up the phone and responds. And, well, sometimes the answers aren't exactly what we want to hear. He's been very responsive. Sometimes what happens as well, and I communicate those with Guillermo, is the infield inspector notifies or finds something and notifies the developer. We're going to find some better communication ways to make sure that those costs are better communicated, and they're committed to help us with that.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Guillermo, Antonio, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your partnership. So we have that. Is there anything else anybody would like to talk or discuss? If not, we can make a motion for the consent calendar, and note that 1010 would be recused by Mayor Pro Tem Elaine Holmes because of property in the area.
Then Matron, so move.
Also, I got first by Councilmember Catron, second by Councilmember Furman. Please vote. Passes unanimously 5-0. With that, we'll move on to our public hearing items. We're on to 11.1, resolution number 10519, public hearing pursuant to the Tax Equity Finance Responsibility Act and adoption of a resolution authorizing issuance of tax exempt revenue bonds by the California Municipal Finance Authority for development of the Arroyo Crossings 2 apartment projects located at 47605, 47611, 47625, 47635, 47645, 47655, 47665. I've already started this. I'm going to keep going. 47675, 47685, 47691, 47695 of Jefferson Street, Indio, California. Mr. Razzo, you handling this for us, sir?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for detailing all of those parcel numbers.
You're welcome.
Those APNs, rather. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council members, David Razzo, Senior Management Analyst with the Community Development Department. I am here on behalf of the California Municipal Finance Authority for the adoption of resolution number 10519, authorizing issuance of tax-exempt revenue bonds as pursuant to the Tax Equity Financial Responsibility Act, also known as the TEFRA. These bonds are currently in the construction phase and are transitioning to the permanent financing. And so this is required during that stage as the local jurisdiction where the project is located, just off the west end of Jefferson, shortly south of Highway 111. We are required to conduct a public hearing, very similar to the one conducted in April for the phase 1 of this project. So this is more of a formality pursuant to the TEFRA Act and allows us to have a public hearing should anyone have any comments or questions. I should note that in your staff report it also mentions this. There is no fiscal impact to the city. Again, this is more of a next step in the process of the financing for this project. There is also a member of the CMFA here. Should you have any questions, that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Razzo. Any questions, Mr. Razzo, before we open the public hearing? No? Okay. Okay, we'll open a public hearing. Is there anybody who wishes to speak on this subject? This is just a formality. It's not something that the City of Indio is responsible for. This is just part of the process. Anybody have any questions, comments? Anybody sobbed in the queue?
None, Mayor.
All righty. With that, I'll close the public hearing. What's the pleasure of the council? Mr. Gutrani, you said you had a question?
No, again, to reinforce in this, obviously, it would be something that I've mentioned before, and you following up and working with the city manager's office and maybe even city council. Our counselor is, in the past, in my experience, I just don't know how it works now, but when we have these opportunities where they're expecting approval or comments from this body, there's always been encouragement again to have these big projects having wraparound services. And you know what I was going to get to, because we used to do it before. I can mention probably a half a dozen projects in the city that we were getting those programs and asking the developers and the finance to consider those, because the more bigger projects we have and big projects like this, we need to infuse those programs in there. We can't depend on them going to them, especially for the younger or the seniors. So that was my comment.
Thank you, Mr. Gutrani. Anybody else have any comments, questions? If not, somebody like to make a motion?
Do they have any of those wraparound services here?
To follow up on Councilmember Gutron's question, the Arroyo Crossing project does not currently have any wraparound services. They have some amenities. However, there is no, I would say, structured services at this time. That is something we are looking into more thoroughly as we continue with other projects in the future.
Thank you.
I'd just like to make a note. My understanding, again, second-hand, third-hand information, is that was asked, but there was no interest for various reasons. So if we're going to build massive projects like that, they need to have something on site. That's been our success at Summerfield Apartments, Encanto Homes by Mathis Brothers. These big projects need to have on-site services.
Something to note, Mr. Razzo.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody like to make a motion? Or do you
Before
comment?
I make a motion, you know, I know we're talking about financing and whatnot, but something that I continue to see as I drive up and down Jefferson a lot. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but the blue paint already is fading significantly, like a lot, on those apartments. That's a challenge for me. That less than a year that they've been up, very striking, very nice blue paint on the exterior walls is fading. So they need to fix that, in my opinion. It needs to be fixed.
Mr. Guton, did you want to say something?
No, I just want to make it clear, because I do agree with you. We have projects off of Jackson that they're all fading. They're all these dark colors. But I just want to make sure for the purpose of David, you do an excellent job. So when you're taking these comments, they're not directed at you. I want to make that perfectly clear. You do a great job. You always present yourself well, and you're very professional. And this is a tough time because you have a lot of projects on your lap. And I commend you for that. But don't take these that it's you. You just have to help troubleshoot them.
I appreciate that. It is in my city, so I do take it to heart in that sense. So thank you. We appreciate the notes, and we will continue on with those comments. Thank you.
Bryan, did you want to say something?
Mayor, so I am in constant contact with the developer because they're also building Avenue 44 apartments. So, and they're also wanting some phasing on their occupancy for the next project. So I will bring up the faded painting on that building to see how that could be addressed. So I just want to let you know my next meeting with them, I'll bring that up.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bryan, real quickly, do we have a checklist that we go back every 6 months to a year on a project of that size and that to go back and look at things to make sure that things have been put in? I mean, because what always happens is in a lot of these processes, especially with the plants or the signs that get ran over and they take them and we put them in for a reason. One is an amenity to it, but like some of the signs too, like no way, this way, it gets run over 1 or 2 times and they just toss it because we don't ever do it. But it was put up there for public safety. Do we ever go back in some of these things and look through to make sure that they've followed through, or like the Mayor Pro Tem said, the paint maybe wasn't enough in it. Obviously it's 100 and some degrees heat, it faded, they might not be used to it. You know, maybe they need to put an extra coat of paint or a different kind of paint. Maybe it was a oil base instead of a water base that keeps it in. I mean, do we ever do anything like that just to kind of say, hey, this is some things we see?
Yeah, we don't, but one thing I could bring up to the Planning Commission is when these projects come in, adding a condition where we can check in, periodically, but we don't have like a standard condition in some of these projects that says we have to keep returning back after a certain time, but we could consider that, adding them to the permits.
I think it's not that we have to do it in long term. I think it would be good for the first year because that's always what usually happens. It's like a new construction. You go back after the year because that's when you see all the cracks and everything wrong. So in some of these bigger projects, especially ones where we're helping finance them through the bonds that, they wouldn't be able to do it unless we did. I think there should be some provisions in there. So like just like your house, when you get it, in 1 year they come in, they fix the cracks, they do this, they do that. They wait till the 1 year, make sure we go back in there and say, these are some things, this tree died, this died. We really like you to put it back in, and we walk away, and then it's really up to them. But it's a benefit not only to the city and them, but also the residents that are there to make sure that they're getting what we put in. Because I see too many of these properties that, they're drip lines, but there's thousands of plants missing for them, and it's just not aesthetically pleasing to not only the people who live there, but also to the city and what we're trying to provide. Because the water's still going, there's just no plant. So we
I'll
appreciate
bring that up at the next Planning Commission meeting.
We appreciate it. Mr. Guton?
I just had a question, Bryan, for you. When these developments come before you, we used to do it when Gary Warner was the director of in your position. It was called the review committee. It was not waiting for staff to respond through writing, because I know those are always challenging, but it was a committee that represented every department that's affected by ongoing issues or challenges, or introducing to the applicant what's currently the flavor of the Planning Commission or the council or the city manager's office. Well, they'll review that and give those comments back and forth, so the applicant goes back and just cleans it up. I think it happened when you were on the Planning Commission, Mayor.
It's been a long time ago.
And I think that would help, but I'm not here. It's just the city manager.
Yes.
I think it was an option. I just think it's better to say, we don't want to see this paint fade. We don't want to see this landscaping, just see emitters blank for, you plant 100 plants and next year there's only 20 still standing. So I think it would help us, I believe, and then help them with more efficient plants that aren't just water efficient, but can live out here. That's the challenge.
I don't want to steal Brian's thunder, but there is, to your point, a required pre-application meeting. So staff does go through that. I'm not sure how, is that an hour meeting or however long it takes? I guess it depends on the project, but it's pretty thorough to the point you're making. There's also a pre-application process at the Planning Commission, so they can also get another bite at the apple where it's not an approval, it's like a study session. So we've incorporated those now into the code, where it used to be practice, now it's in the code. In fact, they're required by code now to go to the planning commission. Do we call it what do we call it?
Consultation.
Consultation.
Actually, it blew my mind. It's great, but that's free. So they could do a free consultation, and the planning commission can give some kind of initial input on the project, any concerns or any input before they move to the entitlement process. But as Mr. Montgomery said, yeah, the pre-application is really that time to voice, you know, some things that the city would like to see the project do, and we could voice some of the concerns that the council is speaking about right now through the pre-application process.
I know at times it's difficult for staff that needs to be at that table to respond, but I know at times some staff, for whatever reason, but we made it mandatory that every department needed to be either written or be present. That was it.
Yeah, and some of it, you know,
I know.
before this meeting, sometimes people are trying to get out of the pre-application meeting, so I get those requests from time to time. But yeah, that is the process.
I just think, you know, during the process, when we're working with these developers, that they understand the environment, the climate, what kind of landscaping that would be sustainable here, the paint codes, the color. These folks have done this before, and they're going to keep doing it. We just want to make sure we have an established communication system where we could continue to have beautification on all of our properties, not just in gated communities, but if it's an affordable housing complex, we want to ensure that it's a beautiful, livable space for everyone. And I'm pretty sure you guys could come up with a system that could do that. I don't want to recreate a wheel if there's something already there where we could do this. And I'm pretty sure if we contact them, they'll get on it, because we've had a great relationship with this developer, and hopefully we continue to. So thank you for the work that you're doing. And
you're welcome.
Thank you. Do you want to make a motion?
Yeah.
I was just going to say real quickly. So one of the things I did before I came here is I would tell my staff that, you know, if someone's asking for an extension or they're asking for an amendment, I would tell them, hey, go out, look at the property, go out, see how it looks. You know, is there graffiti? Is there, you know, a lack of maintenance? And tell them to fix it, address it before you give them the extension or the amendment that they're requesting. So I always tell them, go out, look, get on your feet and look at the site, because you're right, when the landscaping is not being maintained and there's issues out there, that's the time really to put them on the hook for that.
And the other reason why we do need that open line of communication, because the challenges that we might be seeing, it might be in progress already to fix them, right? So we don't know that. Sometimes we might see something in the community or call the city manager and ask him, hey, what's up with this meeting? Oh, well, it's already being ordered. There's a part that's missing or something. So there might be things already in progress. So thank you, and I'd like to make a motion, Mayor.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'll make a motion. We already did that, right? Did we do this? Yeah.
No, we didn't make a motion.
Okay, Kentucky public hearing and adopt resolution number 10519, approving issuance of bonds by CMFA for the benefit of Indio Pacific Associates and California Limited Partnership, a partnership of which the Pacific West Companies Incorporated is to provide the financing of the project. Such adoption is solely purposes of satisfying the requirements of TEFRA, the code of the California Government Code Section 6500.
We have a second. We got first by Councilmember Furman. Second.
I'll second that.
Second by Councilmember Ortiz. Please vote. Passed unanimously 5-0. We'll move on to our last item on the public hearings. Resolution number 10520, City Council consideration of Planning Commission recommendation to approve the Sandpiper tentative track map number 34668, case number plan TTM 24-0002 to subdivide approximately 5.62 acres into 34 residential lots located near the intersection of Blue Jay Street and Sandpiper Avenue. Bryan, are you handling this for us, sir?
Yes, I am. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council, Bryan Halverson, Director of Community Development. I'll be giving a short presentation on this map. So just real quickly, you already described it, the size, 5.62 acres, 34 lots. We have the applicant here this evening. If there's any questions at the end of my presentation, and the location is a vacant parcel at Blue Jay and Sandpiper. And you see the zoning and general plan. I'm not going to read that. Here's the location. You can see this property is unique in the sense of It's right in the middle of another neighborhood, and it's kind of a continuation where Sandpiper will run through. I'll show you the map in just a second. You can also see Cardinal and then Boo Boo Link as well. It's flat, ready to be subdivided and built upon. So I just wanted to give the council a quick update. So the design review for this property has already been approved by the Planning Commission, but the map needed to come to City Council. So that was just done last month on September 24th. Even though you're not considering any of these design components, only the subdivision of land, you can see just a quick little snippets of what the Planning Commission approved, just like the exterior of the home, the building elevations, some of the typical landscaping in the front, and then there's a typical floor plan for the site. So that's already been completed. As I mentioned, it's just a 34 lot map. They are going to have public streets that are about 36 feet wide. There'll be rolled curbs, 6 foot wide sidewalks, and there'll be associated improvements, including a retention basin. And they are smaller lots. This is a smaller lot subdivision, 4,500 square feet, or about 41 feet wide and approximately 110 feet deep. But I think, as you can see from the map, even though you're not approving that configuration, just the subdivision of land, it's very similar to the surrounding neighborhood. You can see how the street will just go right through the subdivision and the basin there on the southeast corner for this property. Tentative map is compliant with everything: general plan, zoning, subdivision map act, our subdivision regulations, and municipal code. And we're simply asking you to approve the map this evening. It's a pretty straightforward recommendation from the Planning Commission to approve this map. We already made a determination that's compliant with the previous environmental document. So other than that, that concludes the staff presentation. It's pretty straightforward. The applicant is here tonight, so that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Brian. Mr. Gutron, did you have something you wanted to ask?
Just a couple of things. I think Elaine and I were in that neighborhood not too long ago when we were walking, I'll just put it that way. And she made a comment about the pedestrian accesses off the cul-de-sacs. And I think that whole neighborhood, I think, is going to be delighted that those homes are finally going to be built. When they built that development, I remember there was nothing around it other than the Farm Labor Center to the east. And I think the community would be grateful if there's some cosmetic things done along that wall. The city manager's projects of painting walls in neighborhoods, that benefited from that, but it still needs some TLC. And the entrance going into the neighborhood, there's only one way in, one way out. It was never designed to be that way because Liberty Village is to the south of it. At least if I think there's 2 neighborhoods that were built. And it would be nice that at Quail and Calhoun something would be done with a big investment done from the Department of Ed, from the county, and that big beautiful project they're building. I mean, they're going to have meeting rooms, other opportunities for continued education. It would be nice that we just don't forget about that side, because something, whatever you think is possible with the developer and working at, I know that this application has been for a while, at least if I recall. But it would be nice to do something that we can, even if we team up to do something at that entrance. That's it.
Councilmember Gershon, I did, just in case this came up, put the landscape plan in the back, see if I can get to that. So there is a small landscape treatment you can see there on the east side of Boo Boo Link, or sorry, the west side. So there would be a little bit of a landscape treatment there. So it's minimal just because these are small lots and the site is not very large to work with. And then of course you can see that corner has beefed up landscaping, if you will. One thing that you could do is if you wanted to add additional treatment, and I did talk to, there's been some discussions, whoops, let me go back. Let me just go back to the map and I'll kind of show you. So if you look at those 2 lots when you come in from the west, you could potentially, It would be on the private property. There isn't any room in the right-of-way to do this, but you could put some, since we're talking about trees, I love trees tonight, you could put 2 large, either 24-inch or 36-inch box trees, shade trees, on those 2 lots as you come in. So over time, as those trees grow up, you'd have a nice entry there, and then wrap around, you have some more landscaping near Boo Boo Link. So at least you have some landscaping. It's not ideal because they're really constricted in the amount of room they have, including an existing neighborhood on both sides. But that is something, even though it's more important for the design review or more appropriate, you could add something if you wanted to add those additional landscaping on those lots at the front. So it'd be lot 1 and 34, it'd be right in the front there.
Well, I appreciate that. I was really emphasizing the entrance into that neighborhood.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of tough, but there's not much there.
Yeah.
And I just think of whatever you think is possible. All I can do is ask. But I think the neighborhood's probably delighted that that's even getting done. And hopefully family members that get people to go in there and buy would be great. So, but I was specifically referring to quail in Calhoun.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, since it's off-site, that's going to be difficult.
Good. Anything else?
Bryan, these houses, these are 2-story?
Yes, they are. All of them are.
They're all 2-story. Has there been any outreach with those surrounding communities about that?
That's a good question. The applicant can come up. We don't require that specifically, but we encourage, but we don't require it. But the applicant could come up and see if they've had some discussions with the surrounding neighborhood. At the Planning Commission meeting, they talked about a little bit, and they actually, speaking of trees, they wanted some more trees in the backyards to provide some privacy and screening. But as far as the neighbors and public reach out, I don't know how much of that they did, but it can certainly, the applicant can come up and share that.
Go ahead. So we don't have a restriction anymore? We used to never allow 2 stories up against the side looking into a backyard. That was one of the big problems we had with the apartments, the Royal Crossings, was that they were looking down into other people's yards. Is there enough setback from them to be able to?
Yes, there is. Yeah. No, there's a pretty good, that map that I just showed you, can see there's a decent amount, but it's not, 20, 30 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, that doesn't mean that it wouldn't get passed, but it's just the communication with the surrounding areas of what might come. It might not even be the 2-story houses. It may be more traffic. This is a one-way in and one-way out. So just so they're aware of what's going on, and they might welcome it, right? But just the outreach, I think, is important.
Yeah, at the Planning Commission meeting, just so I could note, there was no opposition to the project. So tonight, obviously, we're just talking about the subdivision of land, but there hasn't been, a lot of outcry regarding concerns on the project, just so you know.
I think what's best, and when we have areas of our city that are like this, instead of the open space, some of us have history. That's what we're trying to do. And I think it would help. Not that you did a bad job. I mean, you really came into this, but I think it always helps. Like, this neighborhood has been waiting for a long time for those lots to get done. And get everything finished. But that's why.
I mean, I know of another location in our city that these lots would actually look pretty cool into as well. Just saying, but
yeah. So Bryan, on this, when we're looking at these properties, what went into it? I mean, is the CC&Rs, is there all the other stuff? So the Planning Commission's approved all this. We're just dividing up the property
correct.
itself.
Just the map tonight.
And it was unanimous through the Planning Commission to accept this? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think what it is just we're looking at history to make sure there isn't problems further down the line. Why didn't we have that at a couple things that we're looking at now that we have some issues with that didn't become a priority? And then now that become a problem as we built out more things, people get used to not having anybody behind them. They get used to not having any traffic. They get used to it. As much as they don't like it as an eyesore, they also get used to the privacy and not having to worry about some of the stuff. So it always does a different wrinkle. So
absolutely,
as we get bigger, it's just these are going to be more and more magnified. So I think that's where the council is going, is just to make sure that we cross the T's and dot the I's to make sure that when somebody ever comes back later on, there's a note that, hey, we went out to the neighborhood, we talked to them, this is what we put in. They didn't have any opposition at that time, and away we go. So we appreciate it.
Yeah,
you got a hard job.
Yeah. In my experience, if this was to become a very dense multifamily complex. I hate saying it, but I actually think because it's just kind of a continuation of single-family homes in the neighborhood, it's there isn't as much opposition as opposed if they started cramming in a lot of apartments in this area. So I think it's actually going to fit really well in the surrounding neighborhood.
We appreciate that. Any other questions before we open the public hearing? With that, we'll open a public hearing. Can we hear from the applicant? Would you like to come up, sir? Reluctantly.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We're happy to be here tonight after going through all the hoops to get here. And we respectfully ask you to approve the project.
So, thank you. And can we get your name?
Shukri Yagi.
Pleasure. Pleasure to meet you. And thank you for your investment in the city of Indio. Any questions of the applicant while we're here? No? All right. Anybody else wish to speak on this? Oh, hold on. Mr. Furman?
I mean, that was one of the questions, and you're here, and thank you for being here, and we do appreciate your investment in the community. And I just think the outreach with the neighboring communities is always important in these communities, and I think it's going to fit well. You know, I like the design of these, and I think we need more of that kind of design in our city. I think this, looks pretty nice, but it is a older traditional community, and some folks do get, not that they're entitled to not having anyone behind them, but they like to be in that process of putting their community together, because once this is, if it passes and it's there, they're going to be their neighbors, and they want to, they're going to live together, so to speak. So that's why I believe the outreach is important. So, but we appreciate it as well.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for your investment. Anybody else wishing to speak on this subject? Sabdi, anything?
No, Mayor.
All right, then we'll close the public hearing. What's the pleasure of the council?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Planning Commission recommends approval of resolution number 10520, attachment 1, for tentative track map number 34668, case file number PLAN-TTM-24-0002, and certification of the CEQA guidelines, section 15183, consistency finding with the City of Indio General Plan 2040 Program Environmental Impact Report.
And I'll second that, as well as that the hoops that you jump through are with our planning commission and staff. That's why this is the best city to invest in, so thank you.
Yes, we got first by Mayor Pro Tem
It makes
Holmes.
it the best project, yes.
Second by Councilmember, enthusiastic Councilmember Furman. Passed unanimously 5-0. Thank you very much for your investment, sir. And Sabdi, with that, we'll move on to item number 12, which is public comments. Do we have anybody that wishes to speak? Do we have any?
I have no cards, Mayor.
Anybody on here wishing to speak? Okay, with that, that's very simple today. So we're going to adjourn our next meeting to October 15th, 2025. But I want to adjourn the meeting in the memory of Christopher Silva. Chris Silva was a business owner for many years here in the city of Indio, two-term council member, two-time mayor. So he passed on recently, I believe at 85?
Yes, he passed away in August. And I spoke to his son, actually on Miles, when I was meeting at Victoria. As he walked in, he had just finished making the final arrangements for his father. I also want to know that besides being a council member and dedicating his time, his business, Silva's Radiator and Indio Boulevard, his son's really involved. And he did a lot of other things in the community. He just kind of was quiet about it. And he was also a Vietnam War veteran and in the Marine Corps. So I brought it to the attention of the city manager's office and the mayor that I thought it was important to recognize one of our former elected officials.
And so we'll adjourn the meeting in his honor, and I believe we are going to present him with a certificate of your thoughts and ideas for people that have passed on. But it was your idea to come up with it, and you want to say real quick what it is, Mr. Furman, considering you brought it up?
Well, speaking on this subject, we have a lot of community members and folks and partners and council members and people that we always recognize up here. But I just thought it would be a great gesture from the city to present that family through the mayor's office with a certificate, a memorandum, memorial, to just recognize them and let them know that our condolences or thoughts are with their family. And it does mean a lot to folks when the city recognizes them, because like Councilmember said, a lot of our residents, they do things and we'll never know who does it, right? The philanthropy work here is deep here, but a lot of people do it unknown, and we want to recognize our community members. So I just thought it was a great gesture, and our staff is working on it, and so this will be the first one that we do, so that's great. Thank you.
His son Stephen was also told he wasn't aware of our veteran program with the banner, so they're waiting for their DD 214, since he was a resident local business owner, that he had the opportunity to get a banner up. So that'll be coming as soon as they get their.
And so we will be honoring him and his family. So thoughts and prayers with him and the family. We'll adjourn this meeting in his honor at 6:55. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you soon.